Okay, so this is the animation breakdown number 3. This is a commercial done back in early 80s, 1980, 82, done by the Richard Williams studio. Animator is Eric Goldberg. Eric Goldberg is the supervising animator, directing animator, director as well. Amazing person to work with. I was fortunate enough to work with him on Fantasia 2000. And anyways, let's going forward with this. I just think this is very cool because you have Eric, who's so talented as an animator, earlier in his career as he's working at Richard Williams Studios, who's such a talent himself, and Richard loves a lot of things on ones. And so let's just go forward. The one thing that I did find out, or I did notice with this commercial, is when I saw this, I'm like, what just happened there? Like when Nicotine, this is a character, he introduces the cigarette pack to the kids. The way his hand swirls around. And then he is almost like a magician, like revealing the cigarette pack out of nowhere. But watch the circular action of his wrist. Of course, the hand gets dragged behind, but there's this nice circular action that's happening. And then he reveals the pack. So let's go ahead and watch that play out here.
Come on, kids. If you want to grow up fast, take one of these.
Okay, crazy stuff. Also, look at this perspective here. But let's just go through that reveal of the hand, revealing that cigarette pack.
If you want to grow up fast.
I'm like, what? Anyways, I had to go look at that and see what did Eric do there. So again, when you have the hand and it's sort of slowed down at a certain point, but then when it kicks into gear, it goes on once and it does this action here where it starts to do this circular arcing action all the way up, and then he snaps to the cigarette pack. But there is this nice arcing action that's happening. Watch as he leads the hand. The wrist is leading the action as it goes. There it is once. Look at the wrist is going this way. The hand is being dragged behind. And of course, the wrist curls around this way. And then the hand is just dragging behind. Look at that. Look at the drag on that. And then so you keep going forward with that action. There's the wrist. And we go back and forth from drawing to draw. And there is a circular motion there. It's just like one drawing, all on ones. And it pops up there and then it pops down with the cigarette pack to reveal that. So again, this is all on, let's watch that through on ones from there to there. It's going to the right, to the left. And then it starts to go to the right again, left, and then it pops up in one frame. It pops up and it comes down, and that's the reveal. So let's just look at that in full speed again.
Kids, if you want to grow up fast, take one of these.
Like, I'm wondering how many times Eric had to, sort of play with this timing and those arcs to see if that would work. Of course, when it's colored in, the action, you can see it play out more. Like it is clearer with the action when you see that cigarette pack in the hand, moving around.
If you want to grow up fast.
Anyways, it's pretty crazy stuff. I just wanted to show you that. Also, the one thing about this commercial, there's a point where the Superman lands and he goes after Nicotine right there. So there he's going after Nicotine. He's grabbing him. In one shot, he grabs Nicotine and he throws him up into the sky. Watch what happens here.
If you want to go up fast, take one of these.
Beautiful, right? So it's all one shot. We grab Nicotine by the collar, and then he rotates him through the screen. And there's a bit of a pan to the right as we see him get thrown up. What's cool about this, because this is traditional, is it's not 3D. Is as he goes to throw him, Nicotine's cape actually wipes across the screen there. And while he wipes across the screen here, and we're watching this action go over to the right, the background actually changes. When you look at this background, these buildings are all more profile. We're basically at this stage where our camera's up here. We're almost at Superman's level. We're looking at him straight on. And that's what that is. But as we go, and his action is all smooth, it's all one shot. But what happens is when he goes to throw Nicotine, they take the background and they actually, as it's panning down, they actually change the background and force a perspective, because there we are looking at Superman straight on. And then as we follow his action, which is all nice and smooth, the background now changes, and now the camera happens to be way low looking up at Superman with this forced perspective here on the building. So again, this is one of those, things that they do in the middle of the action. They change out that background. When you pan over, a lot's happening and it lets you get away with it. Again, the cape is sort of wiping across. We do see the clouds. Look, there's a change there. So there's the clouds. And then they start, there it is there. It's moving over. There's the change as the clouds go this way. And now the buildings come in with this new perspective there. So I just wanted to show you that as well.
Come on, kids. If you want to grow up fast, take one of these. One puff and they'll soon be in my grasp.
Not so fast, nicotine. If you want to go up fast, take one of these. With my X-ray vision, I can see the harm cigarettes do inside people's bodies. That's why I never say yes to a cigarette.